Hey, it's April, and today I'm going to be making my demon character, Sulfur. Some of you were asking if Maro has a companion, and this is the one. I love the aesthetic of Sulfur, it looks so crazy and unnatural, so I decided to mix that with the tattered white look of Maro, and this is the design I landed on. To prep the base, I removed the factory paint with acetone, cut the hair, boil the head, remove the head, scrape out the plugs, and now we can get started. I glued some wires to the head as an armature for the horns, and then I can add all the modifications with some Apoxie Sculpt. I took some artistic liberties with the texturing of the rocky pieces. It looks kind of grim and a bit weird, which I thought suited the character really well. Before the claw fully cures, I make sure it's still got full articulation without scratching the arm. Once everything is cured and the face is sanded, it's time to paint with acrylics. I'm sketching her face with watercolor pencils before painting, and blushing with soft pastels. To finish, I'm adding Duraclear gloss varnish to her eyes and lips. Now let's give her some clothes. I drew out the patterns and sewed the pieces with a soft stretch fabric. I used an orange pencil to draw out the patterns and sealed it with some fray block. It doesn't show well on camera, but it actually gave the seams a really nice tint so she doesn't look as clean. Add some distressing. And some yellow and orange stains with acrylic paint. For the boots, I took the stock shoes and added huge platforms with some craft foam, smothered with glitter and glue so the clay will stick, and carved out some chunks for a more organic shape. Then sculpt with epoxy. Paint with acrylics. And fill the base with resin. To be honest, this was a bit of an experiment as I've never used resin before, but I just had to try and make those awesome sulfur puddles. Since liquid sulfur is red, I'm using Tamiya Clear Red to coat the resin. And sealing with one more layer of resin. To cover the boot part, I'm gluing down the same fabric as before. Adding a faux leather piece. And some string. Some yellow paint. And now we have some little shoe caves. To make her hair, I'm taking 3 colours of yarn and gluing the wefts to the head, alternating between orange and yellow with some white at the very top. To style the hair, I take some warm water with a little bit of glue mixed in and then shape it with a paintbrush. For the top spikes, I find it much easier to glue on rolled up wefts, that way the hair's already at the correct angle and you're not fighting against it. Last up, let's make a base. I glued together some cardboard and foam discs to make a sturdy foam sandwich. Glued on some more foam to make an uneven floor for the pool. Built up the rock shapes around the edges with wire and foil. And covered with epoxy. Paint with acrylics. And fill in the gaps at the bottom with resin. And paint in with more clear red. I then submerged all the platforms and added more red with a little bit of orange around the edges to blend it out. One final layer of resin, and we have a base. There's a few bubbles here and there. I think I maybe got a bit carried away with the layer thickness or something, but I'm really pleased with the result. So let's check out the finished piece.